Tim and Erica, a big day indeed. We've been out here over the course of the last couple of days since that announcement was made, and this place just buzzing. Dr. Jill Biden's visit as First Lady is a first for this community, and folks here pretty excited. That there, an exciting moment from Central Connecticut State University sharing their pride in their alum. We also spoke with folks in the business community here who had a lot to say as well. Take a listen. When CCSU posted the news about Dr. Cardona's new position to social media, folks started responding immediately. Wanted to share a few from that community with you if I can. So Susan Burdick writing, as a fellow CCSU alum, you make all of us proud. Your dedication to the field makes you especially needed in this position. Salquan Aliat writing, I am proud to be part of Central Connecticut State University. One more for you, Rob Illage writing, well done, Miguel. I loved my time at CCSU. So not only is this community very proud this morning, so too is the CCSU community. Do want to point out First Lady Dr. Jill Biden expected at the Benjamin Franklin Elementary School at about 11:30 this morning. We have much more here from the Silver City as we continue. Joining me at 7:30. The mayor will be out here with me at City Hall talking about what a visit like this means for his community. A lot of excitement just getting underway, Tim and Erica, but for now, live in Meriden this morning, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61 News. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Keith McGilvery, live in Meriden this morning as our team coverage of First Lady Dr. Jill Biden's visit to the Silver City continues this morning. Of course, she is in Meriden, all to celebrate the new Education Commissioner, Dr. Miguel Cardona, who has rich roots in this community and across this region. We have been sharing some additional insight about him and his past with you throughout the morning. Want to share a clip we found from his commencement address at CCSU while he was serving as the state education secretary. Take a listen. Never stop learning. There, the message from the new education secretary. Throughout the morning, I'll be sharing some fast facts about both Cardona and the First Lady. Do want to start with Dr. Cardona this morning. Did you know he was a former fourth grade teacher? Went on to become an assistant superintendent, also the dad of two. If you by chance had Miguel Cardona as a teacher, I'd love to hear about it. Share 61 at fox61.com. Let us know your experiences. We will share them throughout the morning. Coming up at 7:30, the mayor here in Meriden joining me live for an interview to talk about what this visit means for his city. But for now, live in the Silver City, Matt Scott, where it is chilly and cold. Keith McGilvery, Fox 61 News. We have been getting the beeps and waves all morning long. This community definitely excited about the First Lady's visit here, and joining us this morning, the mayor of Meriden, Kevin Scarpati. Mr. Mayor, thank you for your time this morning.
Good morning. Great to be with you. Thank you for being here.
I was kind of laughing because you told me you got word of this visit late Thursday night on Twitter. What have the last few days been like for you? Mr. Mayor, you know we were all local all morning. We're the hometown station. You have a big announcement you want to share first on Fox 61 about today. What is it?
I do. I got clearance from the White House that I can say this. Today we are proudly proclaiming today, March 3rd, 2021, is Dr. Jill Biden Day in the city of Meriden.
A lot of excitement. Congratulations on this visit. Enjoy your time over at Benjamin Franklin. If you can sneak me in, I'm happy to go with you.
I appreciate that, Keith. Thanks so much.
All right, Tim and Erica, we are out here all morning long. We will hear from the superintendent coming up in our next hour. We will also hear from some of Dr. Cardona's former teachers, and of course, more on the First Lady as well. A big morning here in Meriden. We are covering it all live and local through 11 a.m. in the Silver City. For now, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61 News. Erica and Tim, good morning to you. Good morning to everyone at home. First Lady Dr. Jill Biden on her way to Meriden this morning at noon at 8 o'clock. You can see there is a significant police presence here at the Benjamin Franklin Elementary School, where Dr. Biden is slated to meet with educators and students, as well as the new education secretary in just a little bit. This, as this town is just pretty excited about her visit. When the White House announced First Lady Dr. Jill Biden would be coming to Meriden, the big news came as a big surprise.
Completely surprised.
Hey, I'm excited.
The longtime educator is visiting to recognize the president's new education secretary in his own hometown. Connecticut's former education commissioner, Dr. Miguel Cardona, was confirmed this week. Details behind the event for the former elementary school teacher and principal were kept pretty quiet.
So again, very limited details, but we do have reason to believe that
as the educator Dr. Biden is, and the fact that Meriden is the proud home of the next Secretary of Education for the United States, we have reason to believe that there is a good possibility she will be maybe touring some of our schools or visiting with our students and our staff.
While Biden's visit may be a first for First Ladies, Meriden has a long history in the political spotlight.
Vice President Gore here just about 20 years ago, actually, so back in the early 2000s. And then prior to that, President Roosevelt, President Truman, and President Lincoln stood on these same steps.
The mayor says the community is getting ready.
We have obviously notified our local police department. We've notified the state police department. We have a local airport here.
And area businesses want the First Lady to know she's welcome to stop by.
Come on down, have a coffee and a sandwich. Welcome to Meriden.
We are set up at the Walgreens parking lot right across the street. The team there also eager to welcome the First Lady. I don't know if she needs to stop in for a snack or a drink. They say they are ready. Meanwhile, I've been speaking with Matthew Schmidt, a political science professor at the University of New Haven, and he says really no surprise that this stop here in Connecticut is one of the first high-profile stops for the First Lady since taking over her role at the White House. He says it really emphasizes the faith that the new administration has in Dr. Cardona and the emphasis they're playing on education. He says it comes second only to tackling the pandemic, and that Dr. Biden is the right person for this job to stand by the new education secretary later on this morning. Did just get off the phone, Tim and Erica, with the principal of Benjamin Franklin Elementary School. She is here. Her team is eager and excited. They'll be meeting with Dr. Biden's team coming up at 10 ahead of that visit. Of course, we will be out here for it all in a very excited Meriden this morning. I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61 News.
And Keith, while we have you, why don't you talk for a couple seconds about the Yukon connection? Huskies from all over giving Dr. Cardona a lot of love on social media.
A lot of love indeed. I think it could potentially rival our cutest pet in Connecticut contest when it comes to the number of comments that are coming in on that front. Yukon posted the news on social media, and I want to bring up some of those comments for you if I can this morning. They've really just been rolling in throughout the day, and a couple of them here for you. Susan Spence writing in from my alma mater and my hometown of Meriden, Connecticut. Congratulations, sir. One more. Cheryl O'Connor saying congratulations to Education Secretary Miguel Cardona and the University of Connecticut. Proud to call myself an alum. Of course, he is also a graduate of CCSU, so a lot of different constituencies very excited this morning. In our last hour, we broke the news. The mayor here in this community declaring today Dr. Jill Biden, First Lady Day in Meriden. So a lot happening here. We will be here through it all. Coming up in our next half hour, the superintendent of the Meriden schools joins me live to talk about what this visit means for his staff, his students, and this community at large. A lot to get to, but for now, I'll send it back to you. Back everyone, Keith McGilvery joining you live once more from Meriden as our team coverage of First Lady Dr. Jill Biden's visit to the Silver City very much continues this morning. Of course, she is here to celebrate Dr. Miguel Cardona, a former assistant superintendent here in this community and fourth grade teacher who less than one day ago was sworn in as the new National Education Secretary as part of the Biden administration. We want to share that moment with you.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations, Mr. Secretary.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
An exciting moment there for the Cardona family. They also had the opportunity to stop by his new office in Washington, D.C. before returning here to Connecticut. Throughout the morning, we've been sharing fast facts with you about the new education secretary, but wanted to share some about the First Lady as well. As you know, she is a community college educator. She is also a mother and a grandmother, a military mom and a grandmother. In addition to that, she is a best-selling author, growing up the oldest of 5 sisters. So some background information there on Dr. Jill Biden, our First Lady, as we anticipate her arrival here at the Benjamin Franklin Elementary School in Meriden. Do want to point out, coming up in our next half hour, the superintendent will join me, and then I'm also excited to share, Tim and Erica, we will have some very excited students from Benjamin Franklin Elementary join us in the 10 o'clock hour. A huge day, no doubt, for little ones here across this community, something they are sure to remember for a lifetime. Back to you guys. Indeed, Erica and Tim, good morning. New at 9 o'clock, Meriden police have now formally circled the school as the school day is well underway, and hundreds of kiddos are anticipating the arrival of the First Lady, of course, Dr. Jill Biden, here in the Silver City to celebrate Dr. Miguel Cardona as he becomes the new Education Secretary of the United States. A lot of reasons for this community to be pretty excited as our team coverage continues this morning. I want to get you to Gabby Molina, who had the opportunity to speak with some members of his family about his big new job. Our thanks to Gabby Molina for that. And as she pointed out, Dr. Cardona's roots run really deep in this community as a fourth grade teacher, as a principal, and as a superintendent. But his roots stretch beyond Meriden as well. He is a graduate of UConn and CCSU. Last hour, we had some reaction from the UConn community. This hour, I want to share a bit of a video CCSU posted on social media congratulating the new education secretary. Take a listen. Our thanks to Gabby Molina for that. And as she pointed out, Dr. Cardona's roots run really deep in this community as a fourth grade teacher, as a principal, and as a superintendent. But his roots stretch beyond Meriden as well. He is a graduate of UConn and CCSU. Last hour, we had some reaction from the UConn community. This hour, I want to share a bit of a video CCSU posted on social media congratulating the new education secretary. Take a listen. CCSU taking its pride for Dr. Cardona to the roadways as well, putting up a billboard congratulating him on his journey from CCSU to Washington, D.C., beaming with pride. And as I said, the CCSU community posting the news on social media, and the reaction just started pouring in. Wanted to share a couple of them with you. Keith Hallett writing in, "Felicitaciones y buena suerte. You make us proud, sir. I know you are the right person for the position." Pat Glenout writing, "Congratulations, CCSU proud." So a lot of folks really excited for Dr. Cardona as he prepares to make the move to Washington, D.C. as our new education secretary. Before that happens, he will be out here a little bit later on this morning with First Lady Dr. Jill Biden. Security out here very tight. It is invitation only. We have seen all kinds of security out here, Secret Service, local police as well, kind of structuring the day, escorting students into the building. So a tight ship here in Meriden. We will be inside live as our team coverage continues. And coming up in our next hour, I found 3 teachers, all hired by Miguel Cardona. They're going to share their insight, maybe a few stories as well as our team coverage continues. But for now, live in Meriden, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61 News. An exciting morning indeed, Tim and Erica. And as we await the arrival of the First Lady and Dr. Miguel Cardona, you were in for a real treat this morning, because joining us right now, 3 young educators hired by Dr. Cardona at the Hanover Elementary School. We have Lee, Julie, and Desiree. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Lee, tell us a little bit about Dr. Cardona. He hired you.
Yeah, so I was hired by Miguel as a social worker at Hanover School. Always so supportive of staff, of the students. He always put students first. He was great to work with. I think, what you see is what you get. He's so authentic of a person, and great with families, and it was a pleasure to work with him.
And as we bring Julie into the conversation here, Julie, you were saying you were the very first hire Dr. Cardona made as a principal. What was that experience like for you?
It's so exciting. I mean, I had the opportunity to work with Miguel for a decade. He was a phenomenal principal and such a true leader. And, his story is just such an inspiration to kids, not only here in Meriden, but across the country, and what they can truly achieve when you put your heart into something.
And Desiree, talking with you this morning, I'm really getting the impression that Dr. Cardona respected you as an educator, but also as a mom. I know you have a young son with special needs. Tell us about that.
Yes, so as I was teaching and Miguel was my principal, I was pregnant with my son, who I found out had Down syndrome, and I can't express enough the gratitude I have towards Miguel, not only as a leader, but a friend. His compassion, his dignity, and to this day, when we see him, his interactions with my son, it's just really nice to see that he doesn't just say things, his actions are behind it, and he really does put children first.
How does that empathy translate into the job he'll take on now, do you think?
I think that he he lives it, he breathes it, and it's, I think sometimes people can make decisions based on their agenda, but that's not Miguel. It never has been. It never has been. He really wants, it's a team effort, and he really, like I said, puts children first, puts families first, because really he has children in the public school system, right? And so he's going to treat others like he wants to be treated.
Julie, he's being charged with getting these public schools across America up and open during this pandemic. Can he get it done?
I think so. I mean, our schools have been open since September. We've been full-time in person. That's what kids need. They really need our support, not just academically, but socially and emotionally. And, he's invested in that.
Lee, I am sensing maybe a class trip to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
What are your best wishes for him as he takes on this new post?
I know he's going to do a great job. He has a whole community behind him right now, his family behind him, and a lot of support. He's going to do great things.
Ladies, thank you so much for joining us this morning. A big shout out to the entire team at Hanover Elementary School, home of the what? What's your mascot?
Hanover Hounds.
The Hanover Hounds. So many thanks to you. Congratulations. We will have much more throughout the morning. Do want to point out, coming up in our 10 o'clock hour, we're going to talk to the principal here at Benjamin Franklin, and also some of the kiddos who are hopefully going to get a glimpse of the First Lady and Dr. Cardona firsthand themselves. A lot more to get to, but for now, live this morning in Meriden, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61 News. Keith McGilvery joining you once more from Benjamin Franklin Elementary School here in Meriden as teachers and students await the arrival of First Lady Dr. Jill Biden and our new Education Secretary, Dr. Miguel Cardona. You can see just here behind me a lot going on at this point. Security has increased throughout the morning. Initially, we thought we'd be able to get onto that patio area there. Those rules have changed within the last 20 minutes or so. Hoping to get some more information on that front. But of course, this celebration here this morning, all to recognize Dr. Miguel Cardona and his rise from a fourth grade teacher in this community all the way up to the post he'll take now in Washington, D.C. Also a proud alum of CCSU, and we have a clip this morning of his speech, the most recent commencement speaker that school had seen. Take a listen. Good morning, Tim and Erica. We are at Benjamin Franklin Elementary School, home of the Bulldogs, and as promised this morning, some rock star students anticipating the First Lady's arrival. Maggie, good morning to you. Tell us what you're most excited about today.
I'm really excited that she's coming to our school because I feel like it's such a big honor. The First Lady to our elementary school in our little town.
And Lachlan, today is your birthday. Happy 10th birthday. What are you excited about today?
I'm really excited because the First Lady of the United States, the literal First Lady of the United States, is literally coming to our school, which I think is really cool. Like, who would not be excited for that?
Whoa, and Jediani, you are super excited as well. What do you want the First Lady to know about your school?
That our school is loving, caring, and has the best teachers and principals.
Some good talking points there. Do you think you would like to be First Lady or President someday?
Yeah. Yeah.
Lachlan, what would you say to the First Lady if you got the opportunity?
I would like to say to her that she is one of the best people ever, and that she's a great help.
And Maggie, you're pretty excited?
Yeah.
Indeed. Said they're the best. Connie, you are the principal here. You must be so proud of these students. What's the takeaway for them with this visit?
That this is historical, and they should be very proud of Meriden Public Schools, and being students here at Benjamin Franklin, because we were chosen, and we're so excited to meet Dr. Biden and be able to show all the wonderful things in our community at Meriden Public Schools and in our school specifically.
All right, and Dave, you're the assistant principal here. Your kids are getting a front row seat to history here. What does that show them when it comes to possibilities?
I think it just shows them with Dr. Cardona, our new Secretary of Education, who grew up in Meriden and worked in Meriden schools, has now made it to the pinnacle of education in the country. And I think it's just amazing to see them, that the opportunities education can provide for all our students.
And I can't let you go without saying a word or two about Dr. Miguel Cardona, a big, big day for this city and for him and his family.
I'm so proud to say that I worked with Dr. Cardona. He is a phenomenal educator, and he will be phenomenal as the Secretary of Education for our whole country. He's amazing with students, with parents, with the community, and with teachers.
All right, what do you kids say? You guys ready for all this?
Yeah. Yeah. Yes.
Yes, yes, and yes. We are anticipating the First Lady here around noon time today. With any luck, maybe we'll get a happy birthday out of her for Lachlan's 10th birthday. You never know.
It's like an American Idol, like, you know, where the judges say yes, yes, yes. And they're like, you're going to Hollywood. It's kind of like that. I just got the reference from us.
Lachlan, I think you're headed for my job next. I'm going to give you an elbow there, my man. Good luck. Happy birthday. Congratulations. Tim and Erica, talk about some excited Bulldogs here at Benjamin Franklin.
I know, I can
Yes,
see,
yes, yes.
I can see Randy Jackson going, you're going to
guys are
Meriden,
rock
dog.
stars. You are so
That's great.
good.
Oh, they're great.
This morning, the First Lady is making a first visit to Connecticut. Dr. Jill Biden coming to Meriden with an eye on education. She'll join Dr. Miguel Cardona in his hometown. Cardona just confirmed to serve as Education Secretary in the Biden administration. Topping his agenda, learning in the age of COVID.
So many of our schools and far too many of our students, this unprecedented year has piled on crisis after crisis.
The dad, one-time teacher and former assistant superintendent, says the pandemic has highlighted major problems in our public schools.
It's taxed our teachers, our leaders, our school professionals and staff, who already pour so much of themselves into their work.
Cardona, praised by many for his efforts to get Connecticut kids back in the classroom, will now take on the president's push for in-person learning in his first 100 days in an effort to reverse some of what he's seen over the last year.
It's taken some of our most painful, long-standing disparities and wrenched them open even wider.
Biden's visit highlights a key passion for the longtime educator.
I want to show these students that if they work hard and if they dream big, there is no limit to where they can go.
The college professor will continue to teach while serving as First Lady. The excitement for the First Lady's visit started long before she arrived here at Benjamin Franklin Elementary School. For the teachers who work directly with Dr. Miguel Cardona and the students who got the chance to witness history.
I'm really excited because the First Lady of the United States, the literal First Lady of the United States, is literally coming to our school, which I think is really cool. Like, who would not be excited for that?
I'm really excited that she's coming to our school because I feel like it's such a big honor. I mean, the First Lady to our elementary school in our little town.
Dr. Cardona's former teachers sharing their pride on the Fox 61 Morning News.
Always so supportive of staff, of the students. He always put students first.
As I was teaching and Miguel was my principal, I was pregnant with my son, who I found out had Down syndrome, and I can't express enough the gratitude I have towards Miguel, not only as a leader but as a friend. His compassion, his dignity, and to this day when we see him, his interactions with my son, it's just really nice to see that he doesn't just say things, his actions are behind it, and he really does put children first.
How does that empathy translate into the job he'll take on now, do you think?
I think that he lives it, he breathes it, you know, and it's I think sometimes people can make decisions based on their agenda, but that's not Miguel. It never has been. It never has been.
For Benjamin Franklin's principal, the visit is something she hopes her students will never forget.
This is historical, and they should be very proud of Meriden Public Schools, and being students here at Benjamin Franklin.
And those students had a message for the First Lady as she left.
That our school is loving, caring, and has the best teachers and principals.
At the Benjamin Franklin Elementary School in Meriden, I'm Keith McGilvery, Fox 61 News.